Steelers fans grow frustrated. Could George Pickens be on the move? It's moments like these that only add fuel to the fire for frustrated Steelers fans. After years of hope and excitement, it feels like this might be the final straw. Internal strife, contract negotiations, and the looming off-season are all contributing to a tense atmosphere in Pittsburgh. For a franchise known for its stability, something feels off, and all eyes are now on star receiver George Pickens. Could the Steelers really trade away one of their most dynamic playmakers? Meanwhile, in New England, the Patriots are at a crossroads. The franchise is heading into a crucial off-season with major decisions to make. With the departure of longtime defensive coordinator Jared Mayo, the Patriots have hired a new head coach, Mike Vell, and are looking to reshape their roster for the future. Vell's first major task? To build around rookie quarterback Drake May, who showed significant potential in 2024 despite playing with one of the league's weakest wide receiver groups. Drake May's potential and the need for a top receiver. Drake May's 2024 season was filled with flashes of brilliance. Despite the lack of a true number one receiver, May still found ways to move the ball and lead his team to competitive performances. However, as the Patriots look ahead, it's clear that May's development will be significantly hindered unless the team brings in a reliable and talented receiving threat. In today's NFL, a young quarterback like May can only go so far without elite weapons. The Patriots' lackluster receiving core simply can't be expected to carry the offense in the long run. Enter George Pickens. According to Matt Johnson of Sports Notes, New England is poised to make a bold move this offseason to land the Steelers' standout wide receiver in what could be a game-changing trade. The Patriots do have some promising young receivers in the pipeline. However, with May clearly ready to take the next step in his development, the time for patience has passed. He needs a go-to weapon, someone who can consistently win on the outside, create separation, and make explosive plays. And that's exactly where George Pickens could step in. The Steelers' internal struggles with Pickens has undoubtedly been one of the most exciting young receivers in the NFL over the past few seasons. His 2023 campaign, which saw him haul in 63 receptions for 1,140 yards and 5 touchdowns, was a statement year that solidified his place among the league's top talents. However, behind the scenes, all is not well in Pittsburgh. There have been rumblings of internal issues with Pickens, particularly concerning his attitude and work ethic. One of the more concerning incidents came in 2024 when Pickens showed up late for a critical Week 17 game against the Kansas City Chiefs, a move that raised eyebrows across the Steelers organization. While his talent on the field is unquestionable, there are concerns about his maturity, and these off-field issues could be affecting his relationship with the team. Complicating matters further is Pickens' contract situation. As he enters the final year of his rookie contract, the Steelers face a tough decision. Should they extend him long-term, or should they move on before they have to pay him top dollar for a potential extension? The Steelers are notoriously cautious when it comes to big-money contracts, and with Pickens' recent behavior, they might decide to cut ties and capitalize on his trade value rather than locking themselves into a hefty long-term commitment. The Patriots' strategic interest in Pickens. If the Steelers do decide to part ways with Pickens, the Patriots should be front and center in the conversation. The timing couldn't be better for New England. While they're still in the early stages of rebuilding their roster, the team has enough draft capital and cap flexibility to make a move for a player of Pickens' caliber. Adding a young, talented receiver like Pickens would immediately give May the number one target he desperately needs. At just 24 years old, Pickens still has a long career ahead of him, and he's already proven that he can perform at an elite level. His combination of size, speed, and physicality makes him a nightmare for opposing defenses. Pairing him with May would give the Patriots one of the most promising quarterback-receiver duos in the league. The upside is enormous. Furthermore, with the Patriots' future salary cap situation looking promising, New England would have the financial flexibility to take on Pickens' contract extension, which is likely to come with a hefty price tag. While the Steelers would almost certainly demand a high return, possibly a day 2 draft pick or even a first-rounder, New England is one of the few teams capable of making that trade work without sacrificing too much elsewhere. Will the Steelers let go of Pickens? While the idea of Pickens heading to New England is tantalizing for the Patriots, it's far from a done deal. The Steelers have a history of being cautious with trades, and they may not be ready to part with one of their most explosive weapons. After all, Pickens is still a young player with a high ceiling, and he remains an important piece of Pittsburgh's offense, especially in an era where playmakers are at a premium. The Steelers' coaching staff, led by Arthur Smith, might still view Pickens as a key part of their long-term plans, and they could opt to overlook the internal issues in favor of his production on the field. Moving on from Pickens would create a hole in their offense that could be difficult to fill, especially if they want to stay competitive in a tough AFC North division. That said, if the Steelers believe that Pickens' off-field issues will only continue to be a distraction, they could choose to cash in on his value while it's still high. The Patriots, with their draft picks and cap space, could make a compelling case for the Steelers to pull the trigger. What's next for both teams? The upcoming offseason will be one of the most pivotal in recent memory for both the Pittsburgh Steelers and the New England Patriots. The Steelers will need to decide whether Pickens is worth the risk of a long-term investment, or if they should move on while his trade value is at its peak. Meanwhile, the Patriots face the challenge of surrounding their young quarterback with the right talent to succeed. If they can pull off a trade for Pickens, it could be the spark their offense desperately needs. The road ahead is full of uncertainty, but one thing is clear. The potential acquisition of George Pickens could be the missing piece that propels the Patriots